Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. Welcome. Let's slay some demons. Brothers and sisters and brothers, just a little straight talk here. Understand the times as Mr. Demon Master, the time and what must be done. Whole year, time and what must be done. A couple of years ago. No mention of any of this what's going on now. But he's going to know the time and time what must be done. He doesn't understand time. He definitely don't know what must be done. You know, the Quran talks about intense darkness when it comes. Do you understand what they mean by darkness? You think they mean like, at night when the sun's gone? No, brothers and sisters. You are in intense darkness right now. But they call it the light. The Quran talks about those who call the light darkness and the darkness light. See? Our light is their darkness. Their darkness, right, is our light. See? Our darkness is their light. Where's intense darkness? That means time of ignorance. When you don't know what the world's going on, you have no idea what's going on around you. You're deceived. It said they would deceive the whole world. Most of you that call yourself Christians, that you caught up in that Christianity thing, you have no idea what the Bible means. But you claim that's your reality. You claim that's your reality. So how's your reality? You don't even know what it means. I can get as many as you as possible together in a stadium, and I can ask you a few questions about the Bible that you say you believe in, and you have no idea what it is. If I ask you what a dragon is, you have no idea what the dragon is. You have no idea who the devil is. You have no idea who the angels are. You ain't have any idea what God is. You say it was spirit or spook. I mean, that means you don't know. Because spirit, you never seen him. You don't know where he is. You never talked to him. Not even sure of his name. You say, well, I believe in the Son, but you don't know where he is either. You don't even know if he even exists. I mean, you told in history that there was this person that came around, and where did you get that from? You get that from the Bible, because you're not really even getting that from history. You get that from the Bible. But you also get serpents in the Bible too. So if you're going to say that you believe what the Bible says, you believe in Jesus because the Bible says it, they should also believe in serpents because the Bible said it. You should also believe in talking serpents because the Bible said it. See? And maybe some of you do. But that's something you can't prove. So in other words, can you prove any of this reality that you say you believe in? Because that's the reality, that's the basis of your reality, the so-called Bible. That's the prism from which you look at the entire world. Yeah, you have cars and all these different things like that, but you go to church, and that's what you believe is going to happen when you die. So that's the more important thing in your life. That's what drives it. That's how you deal with people, right? Because you say, well, you should be kind to your enemies. Where do you get that from? You got that from the Bible. You should love your enemies, pray for your enemies. If they ask you for one coat, give them all of your coats. You got that from the Bible. So that's your reality, but do you know what it means? See? So in other words, that's what's driving everything else that you do. Why you go to work, why you have a family, how you interface with your family. See? Well, yeah, you got the government, That affects you too. But that's part of your reality too. But you understand any of this. You understand any of it. Because religion is your fundamental reality. Religion is what's driving this planet today. That's driving most of the wars today. Religion. Especially in the past. Religion, what was drove wars in the past? You had the so-called Middle Ages, the Crusaders and all that kind of stuff. That was all about religion. Religion was what they call the Indians were savages. Why? Because they didn't believe in Jesus. So that was all about religion. So religion is the basis of everything you do. But what's religion? Why you got so many of them? All of them can't be right. Only one can be right. So that means if only one religion can be right, and just assume there's, say it's four religions, right? Just hypothetically, right? And each religion controls 1/4 of the planet. That means 3/4 of the planet is insane. They're crazy. Because that's the reality. They're crazy. They believe in stuff that's insane. That's what you're saying. If you're a Christian, you think the Muslims are insane. Because what they believe is totally wrong. Because you thought it was right, you believe in it too. You believe the Hindus are totally insane. Well, you be Hindu too. You think the Buddhists are totally insane. The animists are totally insane. And the same thing on their part, right? The Hindus think you're a Christian. They think Christians are insane. And or they would, because they would accept their reality. And Christian, all the things you see, all this stuff, evolution, capitalism, right, racism, all that stuff, that came out of the Bible, the sealed Bible. All of it's there. I can show it to you. So that means if you're doing that, that means you're following the Bible. And I believe in the Bible 100%. So how do you solve that? Square that circle. Because the Sunnis are totally confused. The Sunnis are totally confused. Check something here right quick. The Sunnis are totally confused. I mean, everyone's totally confused as far as I'm concerned, right? The Sunnis are totally confused because they tell you about Adam. They think Adam means all of us because they think the angels are invisible. You can't see them, but yet they're real so tiny, and you got one on his shoulder, all that kind of stuff. Oop, I just knocked one. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, right? That's what they think. So if you take that little thing they have about Adam, well, who made Adam? It says they don't say actually Allah. They say no, when that Lord. So who is that Lord? What's the Lord they talking about? Who made a new ruler in the earth? See, so they tell you about him. It says okay, and it says, see, he's going to rule it. But I mean, if Adam is the first man, who is he ruling? If he's the first one, who is he ruling? If he's the first one, see, right there you got a paradox you can't make sense of. Who is he ruling? Okay, so okay, I mean, but then they tell you who he's ruling. He said he's going to rule who? The angels. Because they tell the angels to submit to him. Because if he's the first man, then who's going to be ruling? He's going to be, but he's not going to rule in the heavens. He's going to rule on the earth. I'll make a ruler in the earth. And he said the angels submit, but you can't see the angels. But they're supposed to submit to Adam. That means they have to do what he tells them to do, right? But how can they do what he tells them to do if he can't see them? Right? He can't touch them. He don't know where they are. So how does that work? And then to add insult to injury, tell you, well, Iblis said, no, I ain't going to do it. So who's this Iblis? Who's that? I mean, we're going to put this stuff together, see, because logic is how we think, supposed to. And they'll tell you, see, because they'll argue with you, the Sunnis, and they try to prove you wrong about what you're saying if we talk like this. But what is the tool they use to do it with? Logic. See what I'm saying? They want to use logic to prove that logic doesn't make sense. Because we're using logic here. So they're going to use logic, because they're going to argue with you, we're going to have to use logic, right? Because that's where the brain works. So they're going to choose logic to try to prove that logic doesn't work, because we use logic. So, I mean, if anything I say is illogical, we're using logic. And the only tool they got to prove that logic doesn't work is logic. So they say Iblis refused, but Iblis is not an angel. Wait a minute. Let me analyze this now. Iblis is not an angel, but the command went to the angels. He commanded angels to submit, but Iblis is not an angel according to them. See, he's a jinn, but jinn are not angels. So God told the angels to submit, but Iblis refused, so God is going to punish Iblis for refusing an order that he did not give him. Because the order went to the angels, it didn't go to the jinn, it went to the angels. So if Iblis is not an angel, then how in the hell he can be accused, disabused, or chastised for obeying an order that was not even given to him? See, all children, all you girls, I want you to get up and I want you to go, right, to the girls' auditorium. See? And the boy is still sitting there. Well, why are you still sitting there? I ain't going to no girls' auditorium. Okay, I'm going to punish you. Yeah, but you didn't get a command to us. You gave the command to the girls. So how are you going to punish us for some command you gave them? See? That's BS. It don't make any sense. Because logic does not apply over there in Sunni land. But they'll use logic to condemn you for being logical. Because that's the only way the brain can work. Muscles work a certain way, brain works a certain way. That's use logic, but the analytical spatial. Spatial use very analytical, use very linear logic. Spatial use spatial logic. See, more what's the word they use? Holistic in a way. I guess you could use that word. So in other words, now the jinn, they're not angels. So what are they? But they are people that refuse. See, but they said that they were back in the creation because they said they was not able to witness their creation, but they was, create a fire. See, so they're original. We're not going into the details about that. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about it because initially that's where we were. We were fire. That's one of the paradoxes because oxygen and hydrogen. I'm going to take a little segue here. Hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is the most simplest atom. It's only one atom, proton, and oxygen is a more complex atom, right? But both of them are fire. Yeah. See, people argue with you, oxygen's not fire. How come it's not fire? If you take the oxygen out of the room, don't the fire go out? So if oxygen's not fire, then how come it goes out? Fire goes out if you remove oxygen. The same things like ice. Is ice water? Is steam water? Yes, it's water. It's another form of water. If you heat it up, it turns to steam. If you freeze it, it turns to ice. Same thing, oxygen. If you heat it up, right? If you activate it, it turns into fire. And hydrogen is fire. But if you mix fire together, you get water. And water can blow them out. That's one of the paradoxes, right? And that's what the first God did to put water on the earth. See, because that's oxygen, hydrogen. Our atmosphere was hydrogen and oxygen. And it took a great deal of hydrogen He made the sun. The sun is made of hydrogen. See? But we was initially fire, because that's where the whole earth was on fire. The only way we could survive, it couldn't have been water. If all was fire to get it, we couldn't return to steam. Anyway, that's another story. But the Sunni land, that's one of the little stories, right? See? And then you got Adam was made to make mischief and shed blood. So, okay, but the angels, the righteous angels, told to submit to him. Said, well, how does that make any sense? So it sounds like Iblis made more sense in that situation. He said, I'm not going to go along with that. So you guys should be on Iblis' side, right? He said, I'm not going along with that nonsense. I'm not going along with mischief and shed blood. I'm not going to submit to that. See, so you get confused right there. So Adam would rule for a season, and that's where he ruled. But then he was told that he would be given guidance. So if you're going to make someone, that's their purpose, remember, that's their purpose, to make mischief and shed blood, that means that's the guidance you want to give them to do that. Right? I mean, that's what you want them to do. So you can give them the guidance to do that. You don't give them guidance to be righteous, because you didn't make them be righteous. You made them to make mischief and shed blood. So you want to give them the guidance to do that. That's why they call them the people of the book, because the book was given them and showed them how to make mischief and shed blood. Because if you, like Elijah Muhammad said, if you take the Bible and squeeze it, right, or it drip nothing but slavery teaching. That's some slavery teaching. And it's all that Bible, the sealed Bible is nothing but about, it's all about making mischief and shed blood. So it's all about. See, in enslavement. And you're supposed to love your enslavement. You're supposed to obey your master. You ain't supposed to fight against your master. You're supposed to enjoy enslavement. In fact, you're supposed to pray for it. Because if your master beats you, you're supposed to pray for him. The more he beats you, the more you're supposed to pray for him. That means you're a masochist. You love being beat. That's what it tells you. Pray for those that spitefully use you. That means, why are you going to pray for them? That means you encourage more of it. In other words, the more they beat you, the more they spitefully use you, because that's all about business shape blood, to allow him to rule in that fashion. Because if you're going to submit to him, that means you got to submit to him doing that to you. If he's making mischief shed blood, that means that's what you're submitting to. You submitting to being made mischief of, and your blood being shed. So that's why I tell you that kind of stuff. That's why he was given the Bible. But the Bible was sealed. It was sealed from him, because he couldn't understand, so it was sealed from him. That was a sealed Bible. So that means, see, that's why I'm telling you, we in intense darkness, because that was the book. Like Christ said, the darkness that Allah has created. And I said, that's a sealed book that governs the darkness, because Adam would rule in darkness. He wouldn't rule in the light, but that would be his light to guide him in the darkness. The sealed Bible. Also, the sealed Quran. You say Quran is not sealed, it tells you that. It says parts of the book is allegorical and parts is decisive. And those who wish to deceive use allegorical to deceive you. It says no one understands the allegorical but Allah and those firmly rooted knowledge. So unless you Allah or you one of those firmly rooted knowledge, right, then you don't know what it means. But they're obviously not firmly rooted knowledge, because they don't know, they can't tell who the jinn is. They can't tell you who the jinn is. Ask the Sunnis who the jinn is. They cannot tell you. They cannot tell you who the angels are. They can't tell you where they are or who they are. They can't tell you what Allah is. Allah, we just believe he's the maker. I mean, he's the creator. See what the Hindus say the same thing. They got a creator. They can't tell you. They can't tell who the Dajjal is. I mean, these things, right? They can't tell you who Adam is. They think we all Adam. They can't tell you things right in front of their face. But that's their religion. You get in Sunnism, you get in the dark, it's total triple darkness. You don't know who is what. You just believe. You totally out of touch of reality. That's assuming, right? I'm going to go there. That's assuming that all these things around us are invisible, So that means, but if you don't know who they are, see, if you in total, if you go to a party and you know who all the people there, you in darkness. You know you out of touch. You know, hey man, I'm in the dark, man. I don't know who these people are. They're all around you. You know who they are. So if these things are around you, just if the jinn and the devil and the dragon and all this stuff all around you, but you don't know who they are, then they're visible to you. You in darkness. See? If you out in the jungle and it's total dark, no moon, anything out, right? Man, you got snakes and hyenas and all kind of move around, and they're quiet. You have no idea. You're in the darkness. Then the light comes on, all of a sudden, boom. See? And this darkness is fueled. This darkness is fueled by something. Because see, it's darkness to us, but it's light to them. Because that's their guidance. The darkness is their guidance. This dark weird, that's their guidance. But it's darkness. Because if you think about it, Adam is in darkness. But his guidance is, he was given guidance how to rule in darkness. Because if his rule is to make rich shed blood, isn't that spiritual darkness? Isn't that said that's what we're fighting against? Spiritual darkness in high places, spiritual darkness. Isn't that what the scriptures say? Spiritual darkness. And almost all of you are in spiritual darkness, unless you can answer those questions. Because if you can answer those questions, then okay, well, say for instance you're right. Say you don't know who the angels. Say the angels are truly invisible, and God's truly invisible, and dragon. Say that stuff is truly invisible. Say just take for granted that's true. That still leaves you in darkness, don't it? Because you don't know. I mean, here you are, and these things all around you, according to you. Because they say that's that spiritual world, and these demons and dragons and devils and stuff, all of Satan is all around you, but you can't see them. That means you're still in darkness, right? Spiritual darkness. We're not talking about your eyes. You see? You're still in spiritual darkness. And your reality is darkness. See? Reality is there whether you can see it or not. Reality is reality. I mean, we can hear it, we can see it, smell it. Some people can't see, but that doesn't change the fact that something is there. Something doesn't appear on your eyes, whether it's there or not. Sound doesn't appear on your hearing, but know that it's sound. These things exist. But religion deals with your mind sight. See, most of you understand that you got eyesight, but that's one level of your sensory perception, which the analytical mind is bound to that. See, because we have foresight. Original people have foresight, which they're trying to keep you from achieving that again because they're blind people. They don't have foresight. But that's still with mind. And they have you totally in mental darkness, have told you in total spiritual darkness. The Sunnis, they have it. I mean, we go talk about Christianity too, the same thing. But that's Sunnism talking right there. See? So they don't know who Adam is. They don't know who Jal is, the Jal. They don't know who the angels are, right? They don't know who the devil is. They don't know who Iblis is. They don't know who any of that is. They talk about it, but they don't know where it is. You ask them where it is, and tell them to prove it. Don't give me some, oh, well, the jinn, they move fast, and you can't see. How do you know they exist? Show me one. They can't. And we go on and on with them about that. They can't tell who Gog and Magog is. They can't even tell you that. And they say that's the last revelation. So if the last revelation is not revealing any damn thing to you, then what damn good is it? Because if those things exist all around you, then you are totally dumb. You have no, if these things exist and they're all around you, but you don't know what the hell they are, you're going to tell me you got the crime, the last revelation, and you have no idea what they are? And you're going to tell me that you got it? Because what's kicking your ass over there in Suriname? Mathematics. Now, we can prove that stuff. Cruise missile, that exists. You don't deny that. And didn't come out the Quran, did it? And then come over on the flying carpet, did it? See, you can't prove any of that. And that stuff you're talking about. And you have no answer. When they send a cruise missile up, see, your whole idea is all wrong. We ain't going to just talk about Suriname. We're going to, well, just for a minute, I'm showing you because that's what Farrakhan trying to drag you back into. See? But they tell you, you can't do anything unless it be the will of Allah. You can't control yourself. You can't wake up in the morning unless it be the will of Allah. He's the one, he's your children is based on the will, everything. That's what they tell you. Well, are they hypocrites? Then why they wear masks? If you can't die, you can't get sick unless it be the will of Allah. So, hey, then what you need a mask for? Why you protecting yourself? If it's the will of Allah, that mask's not going to help you, is it? Oh, that's the will of Allah for you to wear a mask? Well, how did the plague come? The plague must be the will of Allah too. So why is he putting it on you? And when they send a cruise missile up your ass, right? Shouldn't you say, all praise be to Allah? That's his will. It couldn't happen unless it was his will, not his permission. So if that's his permission, that's his will, you should be happy. Thank you for sending that cruise missile up my ass. See, nothing of that shit make any sense. None of it. So we're gonna leave you alone for a minute. We're gonna over here. You understand? These Christians. All this stuff is the same thing. It's just all these religions, same things, just different colors. It's like, you got the same jacket, but one is blue, one is red, one is orange, one yellow. Same damn jacket. See? That's all it is. Just change it. 3 plus 2, 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. Let's all come up to 5. Come up short. And all of it depends on ignorance. No knowledge, just ignorance. And all of them are being defeated. Every one of them is being defeated by what? Not by religion. They're all being defeated by mathematics, which can be proven, right? And it's all around you because you can't find any card that's powered by prayer, any prayer, Buddhist prayer, Hindu prayer, Christian prayer, Sunni prayer. I'm not called Sunnis Muslim, they're not. They call themselves Muslim. Just call it Muslim, someone entirely in submission to the will of Allah. But how do you know what the will of Allah is? How do you know what the will of Allah is? Your prophet is not here anymore. So is the Quran telling you what the will of Allah is? Did he tell you about COVID-19? How do you know what the will of Allah is? So you got to know what the will of Allah is before you can be in submission to it. And you don't know what it is, so you're not in submission to it. See, I backtrack on you. That boomer came back. Because it come back because the reason, Farrakhan, they really they're messing up people's mind with this stuff. See? They tell you can't, that's Farrakhan tell. We can't do anything unless, we can't wake up in the morning unless Allah says so. See? None of that stuff they said make any sense. None of it. But if you talk to them, they're going to try to use logic to prove to you. See, because they're going to use logic to prove that Farrakhan is the one. But then when you apply logic to the whole situation, they don't want to hear it. If they could, they would snatch your head off. You go to Sunni land, if you was a Sunni land talker, I'm talking right now, your head would be going so fast. How do you know that's not Allah's will for me to be saying those things? Because I couldn't say it unless it was Allah's permission, could I? See, it doesn't make any sense. Christianity makes no sense. None of it. They can't prove any of it. See? Mystical stuff. But they have you locked in it, locked down in it. It's purposeful because they want you to not think mathematically. Even though they adopted mathematics to the degree they have it, it's not, no, it's really compared to our mathematics, it's very, weak, pedestrian, infantile. It is. That's why they can't duplicate what Master Muhammad's doing up in the heavens. And that's what they're kicking the world's ass with. Mathematics, not with religion. Mathematics. Cruise missiles are made of mathematics. There's no prayer bombs, no prayer missiles, no prayer guns, no prayer jets. You cannot find anything in this reality that's powered by prayer. Nothing. Nothing. So if prayer is so powerful, how come you can't show me something that's powered by prayer? I pray and it happens. Oh, I prayed for that car and I got it. See? Okay, well, the Hindus say the same thing. He prayed for a car and he got it. And Buddha said, I prayed for a car and I got it. So, and they all praying to different gods. And you say only one of them is real. So how are they getting it then? They say most of the billionaires on the planet right now, out of Oriental land, Confucianism, Buddhism. So who's blessing them? Who's empowering them? They say America's so powerful because God is blessing it. Who's blessing China? They godless. That's what you say. Oh, with Satan's power in them? See, and that's a question right there in itself. Because we see the works that America is about, how they got into power, how they got everything they got, because they came out of Europe with nothing. In fact, they were escaping from poverty, and they was destitute, poverty and famine and hunger and disease. They were escaping that. That's what they created in their own place, because they was wicked and didn't know, and they was totally evil against themselves. They was tyrannical against themselves. They treat themselves terribly. Just go back and look at European history. They were escaping that, coming over here and taking the land from the people that had never bothered them, had no problem with them, had not done anything to them. They brought their disease, their tyranny, right? Their hunger. They brought all that stuff with them. And they wiped out the people that owned the land, genocide, murdered, raped, killed, whatever. That's what they did. Took their land. See? Took all of it. Didn't say, he took all of it. Didn't say, they had to put them a little reservation. Then it even took the reservation from them after a while. They found it was, they needed that land. They took the reservations too. And then they drug us over here. And they gave us the worst treatment ever in human history. You can't even call it treatment. And to call it slavery is totally out of bounds. Go in dictionary, show me what slavery, the definition of slavery includes murder, rape, torture, sodomy, right? Pedophilia and all that stuff. Show me where that's not part of the definition of slavery. When they slavery, they whitewashing that what they did to us. You have to invent a word for that because it definitely wasn't slavery. It's like, the Jews invented a word for Holocaust because they said, well, that was word. No, we got a word worse than that. What they did was, they tried to obliterate us as a people. They want to use our creativity. That's another story. They tried to obliterate us, and they did. They took everything, took our humanity, everything from us. They took everything from us. They left nothing. Even after you died, that wasn't good enough because they didn't bury you. They chopped you up and fed you to pigs and dogs. See, they didn't want to tell you, oh man, we forget about that stuff that's happened in the past, and they're trying to whitewash everything. No, it was off the scale. You can't even find a word in English language. English language, I mean, it's a bastard language, and you can't even find a word anywhere near to describe what they did to us. And slavery definitely wasn't it. See, well, they said, well, they got this new thing about it, 1620, where, well, we was indentured slave with a mild form of slavery. Oh, is that like a mild form of rape? Oh, you was just mildly rape you. These people are sick to the core. See, so you have to ask yourself, whose works were those? Who were they serving? Were they serving the righteous God, or was they serving Satan? Whose works were they? Because when they say God, what God are they talking about? Because the Europeans, they the only one to have a name for God. Everybody's got a name for God. You know what I mean? One of the names they have in Hindu is Shiva, right? So and Muslims, Allah, but in European, they say God. So what God talking about? Satan? Because those are the works of Satan. Those are not the works of a righteous God, not the works of a righteous Muslim preacher like Isa or Jesus. So whose works? They're the works of Satan. So if God if the righteous God is with America backing them on all the stuff they was doing, then what kind of problem he got with Satan? I mean, where's the issue he got with Satan then? If this is okay, what America's done, then where's his issue with Satan? See, none of this stuff make any sense, but you don't want to hear it because you locked up in your belief matrix and your logic does not apply. See, you don't hear no logic. Because they got you in so much darkness as a Christ, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. But you think it's light because you say, I'm following the Bible, which is the light was given to Adam to rule in mischief and shed blood. But it was sealed. And it said it would stay sealed until Suleiman come and broke those seals, right? And burst out the light. Turn the light on. See? And it manifests all this stuff. Tell the truth about it. Because the truth is the light. That's what it says. The truth is the light. The Bible tells you the truth is the light. Falsehood is darkness. But you locked up in falsehood because falsehood has no logic to it. It can't. That's why it's falsehood. Truth is logic. Logic is truth. But falsehood, you have to take logic out of it because it got you to believe in stuff that has no logical connection. And that's where you are. He said the truth is the light. And know the truth will make you free. So you are in darkness because your whole religion, your whole reality is not based on logic. It's based on belief, which has no foundation in truth. None. And you connect it back to the sealed Bible, right? And you say, well, that's it. But that's a sealed book. And it's in darkness. It's a book to rule for the darkness. And so you connect it back to there. See? But if you list it at, it's all against you because it tells you to do things that totally makes no sense. Why would you God is not going to do that. If God's going to act like you say he's act, then he should be helping Satan. He should love Satan because, the more Satan is against him, he should love him the more. You don't have to pray for Satan. You just help him because he's the God, right? Oh, Satan, you're in such bad shape, man. You doing all this bad stuff. I'm going to heal you. Because he's telling us why he be a hypocrite and tell us to do something he can't do. He tells us forgive. He's not forgiving his enemies. He's coming to destroy them. Jesus, I'm coming to destroy him with a sword. He's not forgiving him. So why is he telling you to do it? He won't do it. He said he's going to utterly destroy his enemies. But they tell you, oh no, you got to love your enemies. Pray for them. So why is he telling you something that he will or cannot do? See? Because you operating off of Adam's Bible, the sealed Bible. And it tell you sealed until Suleiman come and break the seals, and then he turns the lights on. Once you turn the lights on, now what you thought was light, right? You realize it's darkness, because now you see the real light said be shine 7 times brighter than the sun. Because America is about to be lit up. It's being lit up now, but it's about to come on like full load. Like you might have a candle, all of a sudden, bam! Like in the stadium, all of a sudden those bright lights show up. You see stuff you didn't see when it was dark. See the mosquitoes and the rats and roaches and all that kind of stuff moving around. You could see it when it was dark. You might heard something, but you know what it was. But the floodlights about to come on. The floodlights about to come on, brothers and sisters. And when it comes on suddenly, it's going to be so bright. See? It's going to wake most of our people up. See? That, in accord with the 4 winds. Lights, it says light's going to shine 7 times as bright as the sun. Going to light this place up. That's what it says in chapter 18. It said the angel came, it says the earth was lit with his glory. It says Babylon's fallen. See? Because the center of this light, their light, the sun that fuels their light, see? Because remember, they're in darkness. That's light to them. It's just false Israel stuff. That's what fuels it. Once that goes out, the light will come on. See? Because that's the light everybody's looking at. That's the light that drives America. That's the light that drives evangelicals. That's the light that drives the Christians. Because that's where everybody's focused on the Middle East. Because if they are the seed of Abraham, that's the focal point. Because that's by how you decide who everybody else is. So if the true seed of Abraham says, those who bless Israel, God will bless. Those who hate Israel, God will curse. So that means America's blessed. Because they blessing Israel more than anybody. They're blessing false Israel more than anybody. That means America's blessed. God's blessing America. That means they're God's chosen people. I mean, everything they're doing is good because they're doing God's will. They pressing Palestinians. They ain't oppressing Palestinians and everything. Palestinians is getting in their way. The Palestinians and everything, they against God, so God is punishing them for hindering his people, for slowing his people down, for preventing his people from taking their rightful land. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, Palestinians is good, and Palestinians is bad, and America is great, right? Because God's with them, because they helping false Israel. And the Shia, they're evil because they're against false Israel. And everybody's against false Israel, right? They're going to be cut to pieces because if you're against, God's going to curse those who are against them, and it's going to bless those who are with. You know what I'm saying? And that's the world. The world is circling around that. America's going broke trying to keep that lie alive. They're giving billions of dollars, a minimum of $3 billion every year to false Israel, and plus economic aid and everything else to keep that vision going. To keep that vision going. So that's what's fueling it. That's what's fueling the vision of the world. Because that's what's fueling America. That's what's fueling the evangelist community, the Christian community, right? That's that's determined all the so-called wars and conflicts in the Middle East. Depends on who's for and against false Israel. You know, that brought down Iraq. See, all the wars going over there now. And who control the natural resources over there? All the focus is right there. The whole world's focused right there because of that vision. Now, if that vision is right, that means we're nothing. Because if they're treated Abraham, then we're nothing. We just we supposed to be slaves. That means America's not only blessed, but they're guiltless. Their hands are clean because they're not oppressing us. They're doing what we born. God made us slaves, and all they're doing is being masters. And if we run into trouble because we're told to submit to our master. So if we don't, then we get punished. It's on us. There's something wrong with us because we should be submitting, right, to our masters. It said, obey your master. And we supposed to be born slaves perpetually forever. So, and they are masters. So therefore, if there's any problems, it's not our fault, not theirs, because we wasn't submitted to them. If they beat us, we're supposed to pray for them and love them even more. So if we don't, there's something wrong with us again. So all this against us, and that's what Farrakhan tell that nonsense talking about, we ain't going nowhere and all this stuff he's talking about. See? And we sinful and all that stuff. See, he's promoting all that stuff. You understand, brothers and sisters? That's a sealed Bible. That's their light. And the sealed Bible justifies all that stuff. So if they're false, because you got the Abrahamic covenant. So if they're true Israel over there, then we getting what we're supposed to get. So in other words, we fighting against them and protesting all that kind of stuff. Then we're in error, because we're supposed to submit to our master. If he don't want us drinking his fountain, we should say, thank you. I mean, please give us a fountain to drink from. If he beats us, we supposed to say, thank you. God, please bless him, master. He beat me tonight. Bless him. And you're supposed to love me more. Master, I really love you. See? Because you're going to get your reward, not here. You're not supposed to expect anything here. Your reward is in heaven after you die. That's the idea. And don't give me this BS, because that's your reality. That's exactly how you think. That's what you believe. That's the vision you have. If you're a Christian, that's the vision you have. I know demons definitely have that, because if you're a demon, your whole purpose is to make sure you reinforce that vision on us. Because you masters black-faced children. You camouflage. You master camouflaged. See, because he said you in to convince us to role model. That's how we're supposed to be. To make sure, inspire us, make sure that we conform to all of that. That's their vision. See? But then the unsealed Bible, see, he rips everything, he rips all that cover off of them, all that darkness, he rips it, right? And expose like those floodlights. Bam! All of a sudden. And all of a sudden you can see. And all of a sudden now you know who everybody is. See? You know those rats running around. You heard some scampering, but you know those rats. See? You saw them crawling, but you know that was Magnus crawling on you. You didn't know that because you couldn't see it. But now you see, because those of you that study angel, what did you know before you studied angel? I remember Brother Malik, the one thing first when I met him, the first thing he asked me was, who is the jinn? Because I was talking about the jinn. See, you did not know, I'm not knocking, but I'm just saying, I'm just example, he didn't know who the jinn was. It's not his fault, because nobody told him. He knows now. But before you start studying angel, think about it, brothers and sisters. Did you know who the jinn was? Do you know who the angels were? Do you know who God was? Do you know who the dragon was? Do you know who the beasts were? Right? Do you know who Adam? Do you know any of that? None of it. You're a total dark like everybody else, and now you know it. Think about that, because you've been brought out of that darkness into the light. Think about that, brothers and sisters. You got to put this together so you understand how what the state your brothers and sisters are in out there, because you know how you was before you got this knowledge. Because now you know who everybody is. You know who your enemies are. You know where they are and why they are and what they're doing. You did not know that before. Not some, you know all of it. Because angel has revealed all of it. There's no mysteries in your life. None of that, but you know what to expect in the future. So there's no mysteries in your life, no darkness in your life. See? And so that floodlight is getting ready to hit all the United States. Because when false Israel goes down, there's nothing to fuel that vision that they gave us. That they had the whole world following, thinking it's light. Because that's what's fueling it. That's why all the folks on the Middle East, that's what's fueling it. And when they go down in a few days, there's nothing to fuel it. So that light goes out, suddenly squashed out, obliterated. Suddenly, what happens? Now they in total darkness. They're in darkness now, but see, they think it's light. Now they're in total darkness because now our light is shining 7 times as bright. Because now we are the true seed of Abraham. It's obvious, it's clear. There's no doubt about it. And what does that mean? Everything gets turned upside down now. See? Because in America, it's not blessed by God anymore. Because we're the true seed of Abraham, and they've been oppressing us and beating us and torturing us. See, now they're not, it's a whole different thing now. As far as Israel, hey, they must be Satan. Satan fell. I saw Satan fall from heaven as lightning. So that's where they're gonna go just like that. It's lightning bolt. So now that was Satan. See? And the Sunnis, right, they're sitting on our land. That's our land. See, that light comes on. They don't want that light to come on. But that light, and then we got a God, we know who he is, because those things they try to tell you from outer space, from some other dimension someplace, is ours, our God. He's on the sea. He's all powerful. And Suleiman is one to turn on the light. You, you, that's going to drive them mad because their light is suddenly totally out, squash, shut out. See, because it was really darkness, but they thought it was light. So now it's shut down. It's not fueled anymore. And now blinding light is darkness for them. Why? Because they have no hope in it. They have no vision anymore. So they're in total darkness. They have no vision. Any people out of vision perish. They have no vision anymore. All they look forward to is destruction and hell and damnation because now they know who they are and what the Bible tells them, even their Bible tells them what the end of there will be. Because even the sealed Bible tells you what the end of the wicked will be. But see, now they realize, because now they, in their understanding, we're the wicked. The Sunnis are the wicked, right? The Shia are the wicked. Anybody who's against false Israel is the wicked. But now they realize they're the wicked, and they realize what's the end of, for them, total destruction, eternal hell, right? No hope, nothing. So now they're in total triple darkness. Hopeless with power that they think. See? All this nuclear power and everything. If you was back against the wall, you had no way out. But you had a big old bomb. You use that bomb, and if you could, if nothing else, you blow yourself up and everybody around you too. One or two, but you ain't gonna just sit there and do nothing. And that's what it's all about. They gotta take out our light because it's blinding them, and they have no hope. So they gotta take us out. They gotta take out Farad. That's what it says. They killed all on the earth. Now they went after, when I talk about the Hadith, then they went after those in the heavens. They got to destroy that light because it's blinding them. It's darkness for them. There's no hope in it. I mean, when you have no hope, that means you're a total triple dark. I mean, if you they took us to 400 years, but we still had hope. So it wasn't total darkness, so we still had hope. But you take hope in them too. We take hope in a person, you put them in extreme tis darkness. You can't get any darker than that. Once you take hope in a person, you can't get them any more darker than that. And they hope when they fall into the ghost, hope is going to disappear from them immediately. But they got power. You say, think. And they're going to be desperate to get hope again. To turn that light back on. Time of unprecedented trouble. That's why Farad has to make his move, because he got to defang them. Because they would destroy this whole creation if they could. Because when they go to pull that trigger, they're going to pull blanks. That's why they're talking this thing about. They're going to release all this about the missiles and stuff now. See? Because they're getting ready to go to war. Farad. They're getting ready to go to war with him. See? They think they're going to try. What else are they going to do? And they're going to take us out. Because we the source. Remember, where's the source of light? It's come from us. From the angel. Right in their midst. So they got to snuff out the source of that light. And anything that supports that light, which is Farad. See? And they got to make sure that light never comes back on again. That's why they creating time. They creating mechanical and analytical time, right? Mechanical and electronic world. That's the time they're trying to create, because they're moving forward in time. They're moving fast, trying to achieve that, right? Before the light does come on. Because they already see the light starting to come on. They see some light already. They see the angel. It just ain't turned on fully yet. But there's going to be 12,000 prophets running around like flames of fire. They're going to illuminate this country. And when you illuminate, everybody can know who's who and what's what and who they really are. See, because those of you in the study, you already know who everybody is. You know where they are and what they're doing. So once it's illuminated, there's no way they can talk that crap anymore. See, because they lying on TV, they're doing everything. I mean, that's all they ever done anyway. I mean, Elijah Muhammad was the first time any truth ever came to this country, right? But then he got that from Farad. Before that, wasn't any truth in this country at all? None. And since he left, right, all the truth been snuffed out, except when angels, and that's the atom bomb that's going to blow away this false reality. Blow it away. America's about to be blinded with the brightest light ever. The brightest light ever. Because no religion out there can tell you, explain any of this. But now you know the science. You got your nature, the 5 mathematical principles of Islam. You know your nature. You got the angel, which is real, everything. That's the brightest light there is. You understand the nature of the creation, which is pressure. And what else you need? No prophet ever anything like that. No prophet ever messed with all that. And you got that. That means you're a total enemy. See? Because you walk everywhere you walk, you shed light everywhere. See? So when the sun hits something, right, it either starts rotating or it burns up. So when you out there spreading it, right, brothers and sisters, you cause them to rotate. When I talk about those gears, so some take a little while more to rotate than others, a little more light, but they rotating or they burning up. Because you hit them with this, it's affecting them one way or the other. Because it's the truth. I've already challenged them to debates. You don't see me taking it up because they can't. Where's the falsehood at? I'm just telling what the scriptures say. They don't know. What are they going to tell me? Yeah, Nuri and Wesley on the Breakfast Club. Y'all don't believe that God's a man, do you? Yeah, well, the spiritual, all this bullshit. Yeah, God's a man, period. That's the answer. See? They claim they following Elijah Muhammad, Master Muhammad. They're all liars. And remember the demons, I said the demons are the greatest plague we got right now. Because they're the ones keeping our people divided. See? They're like a chain, right? And every other link, right? Got a weak link in it. So that means the chain ain't strong. But you got to move those weak links, hook the strong links up back together. Because that's what they put in there. See? They says half, it says it's the worst demon plague ever. All the nations are plagued by demons except China. China got rid of their demons. That's why it's so united. See? But we're the worst plague ever. Because it says half of the blacks in America are demons. That means if you know two people, one of them is probably a demon. You got relatives that are demons, friends. Your spouse may even be a demon. And their whole objective is to get you confused and keep you away from this message and keep you thinking all kinds of stupid stuff that don't make any sense, illogical. Because you love them or you want to be friends with them. You're part of their clique. You want to be in crowd. See? That's and then they got entertainment, right? Because you don't want to miss the NBA game, so you want to stay here because you don't miss that next game. You don't miss the next NFL game. They got you coming and going. They're all demons. That's the way you're still on the plantation. All they did was just rename it, rebrand it. They gave you entertainment on the week, the minstrel show and everything else. So hey, you out in the field, but you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait to Saturday, Sunday, to see the minstrel show. So you didn't run off in the plantation because you want to see that minstrel show on Friday and Saturday or Sunday. You think that's bullshit? That's not bullshit. That's the way it went down. And the minstrel, they was all master's children. They was in master's house. They ate master's food to much the degree he let them have it. Wore master's clothes. The preacher was master's child. His whole idea was to make you love master, keep master rich, keep him out there working hard. Work hard. But brothers and sisters, they were not brothers and sisters. They were not brothers. Work hard, right? Because you're going to get your reward in heaven. Master getting his now. But you'll get yours in heaven. Work hard. Because the harder you worked, the better master did. The better master did, the better upgrade they got. They went from eating the dog food, right, to hamburger to pork chops. They wasn't for you. The whole idea is keep you out there working hard for master. Still got you doing it now. See? Because what's master's vision? It ain't the vision that you see in the Bible. Now, in the sealed or the unsealed, their vision is this mechanical world that you see coming in fast. You ain't never seen anything like this. 100 years ago, you ain't see anything like you see right now. See? 150 years ago, with no cars or anything. Now you got cell phones, you got robots, you got all that kind of stuff. And grass, you've been to Walmart lately? They don't need you. Have you been on the road lately? You see those big old Mack trucks, right? Driverless, implants, all this kind of stuff, mechanical arms, everything else. They're trying to bring that mechanical world because that's the only world they know that they can survive in. And they're rushing to do it. They're creating time, mechanical world. They're creating analytical time before we can recreate spatial, biological, restore our biological world. They know they're in a rush to survive. Then they keep you thinking analytical because they got us when you go to work, right? I'm not blaming you because I was out there working too. If you work in America, you working for their vision. That's why he had to put a stop to what Elijah Muhammad's doing. He was saying, no, we're going to work for our vision. That's why Farrakhan destroyed it, and he's not building anything because he's telling us to work for their vision. He don't provide any jobs, anything to work for our vision to build our nation. You work for their vision, and you give him your money. He smoked their vision. We want to live. We want to stay here in America. We need to think analytical. Listen to what his stuff he's saying. He's promoting their vision. And so we go out and work. I'm not telling you to stop working, brothers and sisters. You need to earn, you need to make money and take care of your family. What I'm saying is that you got to understand what you're doing. Because you're promoting their vision. Their vision is our destruction. Because they're trying to bring in this electromagnetic, mechanical world. They give you everything you say, all the future is about what? Did you see any future where it shows a paradise, a biological paradise? Which movie have you seen that show you that's the future? All the future you see is this mechanical, biological, mechanical, electronic future. Terminator, Million Dollar Man, all these new movies where people got mechanical, like the new ones they had, brothers, right? He turned out to be an android. He's really a robot. That's the future they provide, showing you, and you have no part in that future. That's just total destruction because they keep telling you they're telling you that this technology is destroying this. I mean, what does that have to do? They're telling you what's this? They're telling you the ecological system, right? And everything is being destroyed. What's destroying it? This technology. The world they bringing in is destroying our world. They telling you that, and you don't understand. You're too busy watching NFL and NBL. You can't understand. They tell you to your face, and you don't understand. It's like talking to a dog. I'm gonna put you down, a dog wagging his tail and everything, licking your face, and you just told him you're gonna put him to sleep. And they telling you we're putting you to sleep, Negroes, and you said to me, "Hey, what's Michael doing? What's the king doing? How many shots he make, man? Look at that. Look at. They're telling you the environment's being destroyed. What? By this technology. And they say, well, we're gonna. And that's how they BS you. Because if it was dangerous, if they was worried about it, they wouldn't put it to a vote. If your house on fire, you're gonna sit around and say, let's vote on whether we should put the fire out or not. No, you put the damn fire out if that's what you want to keep your house. So that's how I tell you. Well, we ain't doing anything. Because see, we have to vote. They're destroying the ecological system. They're destroying the environment. And they tell you, well, you got to put it to a vote. And you buying that. They buying time. And they giving you an excuse why they're not doing anything about it. Because they're trying to get rid of it. Because every day they're telling you it's getting worse and worse and worse. But they ain't doing anything about it, are they? They sell you a false vision because they try heavily to get to where they're trying to get to before we get to where we get to, where we can stop them and put it into them. It's a time war. How simple can it be? They're telling you this technology is destroying our technology, the biological creation that we brought into existence. But we don't know that because we slaves, we not gods, we don't know who we are because we totally in darkness, right? But they tell you that their technology that they're pushing all over the world is destroying the environment but yet they're not doing anything about it. They can put it to a vote, but they keep on doing it, and it's getting worse. So that means they are destroying our biological world. That's our power, our world that we made, right? Bringing into what? Their mechanical, electromagnetic world. They're telling you that right to your face. They've been telling you for years, we got to put it to a vote. You're destroying our environment, our reality, and you got to put it to a vote. So that's their excuse to get off of it. Because if they wasn't a vote, then you say, well, how come you ain't doing anything about it? Well, we got to vote. Well, the Democrats, the Republicans, they holding us up. Oh, house on fire, but mom, she won't let me get to call the police. She won't let me call the fire department because she don't think we should do anything right now. Total darkness, brothers and sisters. But you're gonna wake up. This place is about to illuminate it. And when it's illuminated, you're gonna look around, then you're gonna know who the demons are. You might be sleeping next to one. You know who the devils are. You might be married to one. You see. And you sure don't want to show up like that. You don't want to like come on and you what the cross says, allow a point of devil to you for your disbelief and everything. You want the light come on and you hang on to a devil. When the light come on, you sleep with a demon. See? You want light come on and you over there worshiping the golden calf, Sunnism. When the light comes on, the truth be told, and that's what you doing? Is that what you want? Because when the light comes on, that's what you're doing. That's where you caught. You caught. See? And so what you think gonna happen? If we gonna let you get away with everything you're doing, then why the hell warn you? It's point warn you if we gonna let you get away with it anyway. When the light comes on, brother and sister, if you caught like that, that's Christ says. You caught like that. The Bible says that when the light comes on, you caught. After you've been told, you caught like that. It says what it said about when the master comes, says, woe to a servant, right, who has not been feeding the flock. Light comes on. It says, oh, the servant here to shout. It said the master's here. And some was prepared, some wasn't. Some was invited to the master's wedding, lamb's wedding. But they came in, they looked around and said, hey, how come you wasn't dressed for the wedding? You was invited, you wasn't dressed for the wedding. You come with your cross on, the devil on your arm. See? Tell me how great, honorable, disemboweled Farrakhan is. See? All up in Sunnism. And wait a minute, you invited to the lamb's wedding and you wasn't dressed for it? What did he do to them? He threw their ass out, threw them in the fire. So it'd be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I'm just telling you, brothers and sisters. See, because the scriptures are there. So the point is, why write that stuff if it's not true? Now, we're not bound by that. Suleiman is not bound by that, but he's going to, but because it's not saying what he's bound to do. It's just saying he's telling you what they saw him doing. That's scripture. They tell you what they saw him doing. And as far as I can tell, I'm not going to deviate from that one bit or other because that's exactly where my heart is. What they saw is accurate. See, because I'm not going to take and diminish my ancestors by kissing their enemy's ass. I don't want them looking ahead in time and seeing their great-great-grandson marrying and kissing the ass of the people that's oppressing them, beating them, raping them, and then I'm down there making love with them and happy and playing with them and loving them and saying, oh, we got to be, no. Because they was praying for their enemies' destruction. They wasn't listening to this garbage that preachers talking about. So they demons, they pushing that stuff, but the real seed of Abraham, they ain't buying that stuff. You don't hear from them. You don't see them on TV. You don't see them in media because they don't let them come anywhere near it. Remember Copernic? He said a little bit, and they shut him down. They didn't let anybody go in. They made a mistake with Malcolm, and they finally turned his behind around. They mistake with him. They saw how effective he was. They ain't never allow anything like that again. No one talks that. The ones they're talking to are demons, and you make you think that's where all black folks think. That's what they trying to make you think. Because they try to encourage that false vision until they can finish destroying this biological reality and bringing their mechanical, electronic reality, which is destructive to us. See? But the light is on. And now it's been ready to turn on full blast. What do they call it? Full illumination. 1,000,000 watts. Bam! Suddenly, as the Quran says, suddenly, the shock of the hour. The truth. The truth is the light. And it says, be truth like you've never seen before. Because you don't have any truth. If you Christian or you Sunni on stuff, you have no truth. Because truth is logic. Truth is reason. What it says, he said Jesus came with clear arguments. He didn't come with belief. He didn't come with, oh, you gotta have faith. He said it with clear arguments. That's logic and mathematics. That's what it said. The Quran says that. So you tell me what a clear logic and the clear arguments is a Sunnism. Show me where it is. Show me where the mathematics is. Because if you got mathematics, why your ass getting tore up by mathematics? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. The light's about to blast. 1,000,000 watts. Bam! Light this place up like you've never seen. Everything's being exposed. And those of you, right, getting warmed up, listening to Angel, you know who everybody is? You know you in the light. And you know everybody else in the darkness because you know what you didn't know before. You know who everybody is. There's no mystery in your life. You know where everybody is and where we're going. You're creating time. You're creating good time. See? Because 5 pillars of Islam, right? That's our nature. If you follow those, that means you're creating good time. See, you're creating your hereafter. But our people are creating their hell because they're creating the master's vision. They're time travelers too, but they're going down the wrong path. And they're creating their hell because they're creating master's vision. His vision is their hell and they don't know it. That's why we are here, brothers and sisters. Now you understand what we're doing? We're trying to get their attention. We ain't trying to impress them. We're trying to get their attention. So they can start creating their own vision. See? Before they blinded by this light that's about to burst. You know? Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.